This is my 1927 Royal 10 typewriter. I bought this off of Craigslist from a lady for $30, believe it or not. It is in really good condition. It has a few minor cosmetic flaws, but mechanically it's in very good condition. The typewriter did not work when I got it. The carriage strap had broken and there were a few linkages that needed to be reattached. But after that the typewriter worked incredibly well. This is the model with the single pane windows because it was made after 1923 when they introduced those. But it is still a Carriage Shift. This typewriter uses the usual Royal spools. These were custom Royal spools that were introduced in the 1910s on the first Royal standard typewriters, and they were used until the 1960s with the Royal typewriters that were made around then, only on the standard models. The portables usually had normal universal fit. This typewriter didn't come with any spools, but I had some lying around, so I installed those. I also installed a brand new ribbon on it and it types incredibly well. I've used this typewriter already a lot. I like to use my machines just mainly because they were meant to be used, and they're usually still fit to be used too, because these typewriters are made so incredibly well, and if the rubber is still in good shape, these can be used frequently. They're good machines, you know, if they're not too badly corroded or any way, or the mechanism is still good, you can use these typewriters as much as you want. This typewriter for some reason has brown support rollers, which I haven't come across before. I think they were replaced at some point, but I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. Unfortunately, I only have one tab stop left, which will do me for now, but I hope to get a few more in the future. Originally, these typewriters were made and sold with 6 tab stops, and they are removable, so considering this machine is now 90 years old, it's not too surprising that most of them are missing. However, I do still have one. My other Royal 10, which I'll show in a different video, has still all the tab stops, so maybe I'll be able to swap some out, although I don't think they're the same fit. Here are the side windows. As you can see, single pane windows, and they're all intact on both sides, as you can see. This typewriter has a support frame underneath, and I think at some point it's been mounted to a table, because the holes here on the side in the frame, which were installed or made standard on these machines, seem to have been used. As you can see, the paint's chipped, which is a common sign that these machines, or that this machine was mounted to a table at some point in its life. This here is the touch control, which if you just screw this one way or the other, it adjusts the tension of the keys. Which is common for the Royals, is that the feet usually flatten and disintegrate, which is also the case with this machine. That one is the worst of all, but the rest of them also have definitely undergone a few aging changes. So maybe if I find a new pair, I'll be able to replace them. As you can see, the typewriter has Carriage Shift. The later models were equipped with a basket shift, which was also a transition into the era of the KHM. A machine I have not come across yet, but they're not that uncommon, so maybe in the future. They were more closed off. They were starting to look more like the Royal KMM of the 1940s. But this machine still has the old mechanism. These are your margins over here and over here. This panel can be moved like this in order to access it for the person that's sitting in front of the machine. And over here you have your bell. And behind there is the Carriage Escapement, which is not really visible. As mentioned earlier, the Carriage Belt had come off, but apparently this is a weakness point of this machine, because I did not replace this belt. This was already on there. So I recorrected it and installed it, and that worked. So that's why you see a red belt there. Okay, so here's a brief typing sample of this 1927 Royal 10 typewriter. I will do a video later of another Royal 10 that I have, which is a little bit later. It's a 1932, and maybe I can be able to compare this machine with my 1932 number 10, because the differences are surprising, which you wouldn't expect in a difference of 5 years, especially not back then. But it gives you a good insight of how the transition went from these particular these type of machines into the KMM era. But that's for later. So here's the typing sample. There we go. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video and stick around for the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.